Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I just want to make an announcement, we are live.
Next up will be a roll call of the board, please.
Todd Crook,
Here.
Sarah Purcell,
Here.
Dan Rinko.
Here.
Stephen Showerman.
Here.
Jim Newell.
Here.
Thank you. We will now entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, voice vote? Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Moving on to entertaining a motion to approve of the January 21st, 2025 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, voice vote? Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. January 21st, 2025 meeting minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda is item 6, ZBA 01-2025 for parcel number 4716-16-101-003 located at 8228 Evergreen in Brighton, Michigan 48116. The applicant is requesting a permit to construct an attached garage addition to the property. The property is located in the NRD RF zoning. The property is .930 acres in size and is in Peaches Huron River Sub lots 9 and 10. We'll begin with the applicant's presentation of the case for a maximum of 10 minutes. If you could approach the table, identify yourself.
Howdy, everybody. I'm Chris with Tri-County Builders. Everybody hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
Good. So I'm here on behalf of Clark and Kelly Brown. We're looking to build a three-stall garage. The existing house is already non-conforming with the setbacks. And we're setting it back further, but there is a large hill. And then with the size of the garage, where we wanted to put it, there's already utilities there. So we could not shrink that part anymore with either the hill and the utilities and a window in the space there. We've been kind of going over design for a long time. There's also some roof issues that came into play with having, I didn't really want to build something and have a gigantic ice dam sitting on the roof or rebuilding a whole new roof for these customers also. We also looked at even at one time putting it on the other side of the house so we could be conforming. That was same thing, sheer cliff, there was tree line issues, it was just one of these, this is by far the best place to put it. It is not affecting anybody's line of sight with the neighbors. And they do have, right now, the vehicles are parked in the driveway existing. So this would get them out of sight and, more put away for the people to be able, to be able to work on them. You guys have any questions for me?
That would be the next thing.
Go ahead,
Well,
sir.
almost, yeah, the next thing would be the board members to question the applicant, so I guess we can start with that. Any board members have questions for the applicant?
Just looking at it, it's actually two lots, the house is that correct?
It is two lots, yeah. So they are,
Kind of irregular shaped lots. but
It-
On the plat, it's two lots.
Yep, correct. They are not the original owners of the house also, so when the original house was built, it was already non-conforming. It looked like on two sides, if I wasn't mistaken, but it was already non-conforming, so we tried to work the best we could within the setbacks and the grade of the land also.
Where is it non-conforming?
Well, the front lot to the right-of-way for the road
Okay.
is a 60-foot setback there. So when the house was 56.7 feet to the front of the house, and then we're looking to go about 2 foot beyond that.
Beyond that.
Yeah.
Looks to me you've got some utilities to move on that wall, too.
Well, hopefully not. So that was the other thing.
You gonna hide those in a closet or something?
No, those are, if you look on A4, you can see that the utilities are not, there was a window directly underneath the window is where the utilities are. And it honestly, it works almost beautifully, the way they sweep around to the side to go to all the power and gas and everything. So that was another big part of it. We really didn't want to shrink that part of the garage up any further because you would not be able to fit a vehicle in there. And then the absolute pain in the butt of moving those utilities and eliminating a window out of a bedroom.
Question or clarification, because I saw a couple numbers, but the variance that's being requested is to vary from the 60-foot setback to a 56-foot setback. That gives you enough.
56.4, yeah.
Oh, 56.4, so 56, and you got 3 inches, 4.8 inches.
Yeah,
Yep.
So 56 is
Yeah.
the number, if you will, or 50.
Yeah, and I think actually, let me look really quick, had it all memorized before I got up here. So the front of the house is 56.4, so we're actually going for 1 foot less than that. So we're actually going for the 57.4.
Okay, so that's where I was getting a
Yeah,
little
for our new
confused.
addition,
So-
but the existing non-conforming front of the house closest to the road right away, the front easement, is 56.4. And that was from the original build there
Yeah.
on Evergreen.
Yeah.
And then we are offsetting 1 foot back from there too.
Yeah, you set the fire department going crazy if you try to remove that bedroom window. You just-
That was part of it, honestly, yeah. Yeah, that is true.
so, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just having trouble envisioning it from having gone by the house as to where it sits and where the garage is going to sit. Maybe I'm missing a page of our materials here, but
So when you
you're adding
look,
on to the existing garage an extra stall,
we're adding on to the existing garage. Yep.
and that's going closer to the road.
Nope, so we are going 1 foot further back towards the back of the house. And so it'll be a 1 foot
See, it's,
offset to the house, or to the existing house.
oh,
I'm just struggling to.
I have
We are
that's
not-
why I like paper. I'm I'm an Eagle Scout, I don't like killing the trees, but, if anybody, would you like me to bring this up real quick?
If you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely, I can show you really
I
easily
was
here.
staring at it today
I know.
behind a garbage truck and wondering, what the heck am I looking at?
So let me show you, so right here, here's the setback line that it's supposed to be. Okay. Here's the front of the existing house.
And it's
the
a side
garage.
entrance right now.
Correct, so they
Right.
pull in
Oh,
the
okay.
driveway and they pull in that way. And
Okay.
then as of now, they have all their vehicles lined up along.
I saw that.
along the driveway.
I saw that,
Your
yeah.
documentation didn't show that. That's a lot clearer to me now.
Yeah,
So
I-
this garage door is going away and you're putting them over
I
here.
was trying to figure out where the other garage door was going.
Yeah, so we'll have one, well, let me grab an elevation too. So,
And if you look at it, you couldn't figure it out either. I just,
so then this is the existing
This is from
garage
the
here.
road.
Yep, and then
Okay.
this is from the front of the road. Our new garage, starting at this line to here, will be set back 1 foot further. So we'll be a little bit more conforming. And then we'll have the stalls like that. And the reason honestly we even had to do this was because the floor plan would not allow enough room if we shrunk it anymore to even fit a car in that space.
So is this
basically,
staying
you're gonna
garage
use the
or-
existing garage as a storage area then?
That's exactly what it's going to become as a storage area.
But not heated living space?
Not heated living space.
No.
Yep.
Okay, that makes a heck of a lot more sense now, thank you.
You guys want to hold on to that, or?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Would you like to look at it?
Yeah,
Okay.
And your practical difficulty is the topography, or?
So right off the back of this existing,
Is a thing, yeah, I saw it,
yep,
is a thing.
is a thing. It drops off quite a
This is-
bit there.
Cliffish.
Drop off.
Yeah.
How's that? And, yeah, I saw that, so you couldn't go back any further because of that?
No, and then right behind, within a few inches of where this is, we're going right up to an existing window in a bedroom, in a house that only has a couple bedrooms already. And then it also has all the utilities come in right there.
You can
So
see
that's
that in the
actually
picture,
why
but-
we kind of cut out a little chunk. Homeowners weren't exactly in love with that either, but that's why we're trying to push this as much as we can forward. And I did say, I was like, one would be looks, and two was, we were asking for the minimum that we really felt we needed, and that's where we came with the 1 foot, the offset.
Okay. So we have a practical difficulty established with the topography. It is also an existing existing violation, nonconformity as it is.
Yep.
But this would not increase, this would actually be less. than-
Utilities, too.
And utilities.
And utilities,
Well,
yeah.
it's going back, so it would improve the nonconformity.
Well,
For our new work, it will improve, yes, for our new work, it'll improve the non-conforming.
Right.
Foot.
You don't want to increase the nonconformity,
No, God,
though.
no.
Chairperson, do you want to entertain a motion? Are we there yet or not?
No, we're not quite there yet, but are there any further questions from the board? Doesn't sound like there will be. All right, with no further questions from the board, we do have to open for a public hearing, a maximum of 3 minutes to individuals or 5 minutes to a group. Anyone in the public wishes to speak? Seeing no one wanting to speak, we will close the public hearing. Any further comments or rebuttal by the applicant? Maximum 2 minutes?
No,
No?
no, we've been working together a long time. They were, I mean, I've known Al for a long time, and I, called up, asked him to come out, he drove out there, all that stuff, before we even got to this stage, because I didn't want to try to, I work here in the community, I live here in the community, so I don't want to try to do anything and set a precedent that shouldn't be allowed. And that is another big part of it is, I know from working on lakes and everywhere else, that once you do some of these projects, it's, you're now setting an example, and this shows to be zero detriment to anything whatsoever. If anything, it's, helping put vehicles in a garage. If you guys did go by there, I mean, they had 3 cars lined up, but, can't fit in their garage and everything else.
All righty. Now we can entertain a motion from the board.
I have a motion. I move to grant a variance for property ID 4716-16-101-03, commonly known as 8228 Evergreen Road, Brighton, Michigan 48116, to allow for a front yard setback of 57 feet. Because that,
I'd like to make a change to that. It's 003, Kelly.
oh, that's, yeah, I have some, thank you. Can't even read. For 57 feet instead of the required 60-foot setback requirement. The irregular lot dimensions, the topography, and the placement of the existing house make it a unique, non-reoccurring practical difficulty. Granting this variance will not be detrimental to the public good. The granting of this variance will not create environmental or safety concerns.
Don't know if I'm allowed to offer amendments, but they're requesting 56.4 feet, right?
Nope, it's
That's
50.
what I had, and I crossed that, that's why I asked.
We're requesting 57.4 foot, so a two, we request,
6.4.
Yeah,
yep, so
the
we're
house.
requesting a 2.6 foot setback.
But 57 gives you .4 for
Yeah.
tolerance.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, sorry, thank you.
Oh, that's what I was asking earlier, because I was confused when I went through everything.
So do we have a second to this motion?
Support, oh,
And can we get a roll call vote?
Dan Rico?
Yes.
David Showerman?
Yes.
Jim Newell?
Yes.
Sarah Patel?
yes.
Todd Kelly?
Yes.
Motion is passed 5-0. You have your variance, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next item on the agenda is ZBA item 03-2025 for parcel number 4716-26-300-039 located at 10800 Rushton Road, Southline, Michigan 48178. The applicant is requesting a permit to construct a detached garage addition to the existing garage. The property is in the R2 zoning. It is .57 acres in size. We will begin by the applicant's presentation of the case for the maximum of 10 minutes. If you could please identify yourself and
Yes, my name is Dan McDonald. I live at 10800 Rushton Road. It's just north of 9 Mile. I'm requesting a variance to add on to my existing garage. That's a 24 by 30 straight onto the back of a 24 by 24 garage. The variance is for the square footage because I'm on .57 acres. If you know Rushton Road, just north of 9 Mile, it's pretty rural. I have the old farmhouse. It's built in 1850. I've lived there about 10 years. And So I'm not going anywhere. Just want to add on to this garage. I'm retiring, so I got a garage full now. I tore down a building. Well, it was a big chicken coop, actually. It's falling down, so I tore that down. So I lost that space. Where it is, I think it's in the best spot. I could stand in my backyard, I can see 4 barns a lot bigger than what I'm asking. The only problem is my property was cut. They built the house next door, from my understanding. And it was in the family, and then they just cut off 0.57 acres years ago. I don't even know what year that was. Like I said, it's probably the best spot for it, for an addition. Can't see it from the road. You might see it a little bit, but I guess that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Board members, what questions do you have for the applicant?
Personally, I think it kind of, this addition, even though it's against our minimum or maximum size requirement, it would probably fit really well in that neighborhood. I mean, it's not it wouldn't be an eyesore.
Right.
It is a lot more, it's the 1,296
I know.
versus his house is 1,277, so that is quite a bit over 100%.
Well, like I said, I see all
What-
my neighbors have
Sir,
huge
we're
barns.
here just to talk about your property, not anybody else's property.
Okay.
You know, we don't know what happened before, you know, just your property, that's it.
Have you considered the possibility of attaching something to your house, which from a zoning standpoint, the way this is laid out, could give you some options in terms of almost, I won't say unlimited, but it could give you some major options in terms of square footage and height and stuff, instead of adding it on.
Well, where my house is positioned, on the one side, there's a well, It's
Okay.
10 feet away. The other side has a 3-foot tall walkway that drops down. It just wouldn't be feasible. Anything like that would have to be forward, closer to the road.
Are you on a septic out there?
Yes.
And is
Yes, and
that-
the septic field is behind the house.
Behind the house?
Behind the house, okay,
The well?
The well
front-
is on the north
So on the front of the house?
okay.
north side of the,
Front of the house?
no, on the north side.
Oh, sorry, so.
The house faces
Toward-
east.
Towards Temple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's your practical difficulty or hardship that we need to give you a variance for this?
Well, I need the room. I mean, I'm not going anywhere.
That's self-created.
I plan on living
That's
there
a
a long time.
self-created hardship.
Well, I plan on living there a long time.
Okay,
I want to do hobbies out in the garage. I want to, work on my car. I don't have the room for that right now.
You changed the size, the original size of the garage, right, that you were asking for?
He's adding on to the existing garage.
Heading
Right,
on towards the
existing garage,
existing
right,
garage, yes.
Right.
Are you able to use the rear of the current garage foundation and extend back, or are you doing
I can
another
extend it back.
footings.
Can
So,
extend it back-
so are you going to
extend it
take out that wall?
No,
Okay.
no.
So is the new building supported, are you pouring along the back of the current garage again with footings?
You mean adding a footing across?
Yeah, behind
I
the garage?
was,
Right
I
here,
wasn't sure if I need to do that. Yes. I mean, if I'm required to do that, I would.
I don't, know.
But
that's
I-
not our
I really-
purvey.
I don't
quite honestly.
think it'd be required. I'm just attaching right onto the garage.
well, you're still gonna need a footing there. Your best bet would be take down the back portion of the garage and combine the walls in that area. Otherwise, you know, you need something to support that area.
Well, then
Yeah,
I would,
but that's-
then
we
I
gotta
would
be
probably
careful
put
'cause we're not
another
supposed to-
Yeah, that's what I,
one in there.
that's the builder in me.
Yeah.
I know, I'm just saying, we're not-
I'm going, that's not what we're
No, I wouldn't object to putting a whole new
here for.
You're
Keeping
hiring
that
somebody
there
to
and then
do this, I
having a-
take it.
wall, I think, I don't care.
And your unique characteristics of the property are the well and the septic are causing you to,
I just think it's the best place for it to go.
But I think we also have to look at it and say, did you exhaust the options to add on the same square footage to the house? Because at that point, you'd be totally conforming. And if you have, if you're constrained due to the topography, the septic system, and your well, then you can't do it on the house and you have to go to detached.
Where's the-
Which, you know, when I looked at it, I wasn't 100% sure if you couldn't do the house or not. That's why I was asking
Yeah.
if it could be
It
done.
wouldn't be worth it.
Because it seemed to
You have
even be
move the
nicer,
well,
quite honestly,
move-
to have it right to the, so in the wintertime, you're not walking the 72 feet in
Oh,
the
I don't
cold.
care about that.
I just
care
say
about
that is,
The space to the south of the house. The septic is behind the
The
house,
septic
and the
is-
well is to the north of the house. But the
Yes.
space between the existing outbuilding and the house, is there?
Well, about half, I don't know if you have pictures up there.
We have satellite photos of it.
There's a wall that's, it's not behind the house, it goes up. It goes up into the south side of the house. About 3 foot tall, and it's a brick walkway that goes back there. It drops down, the property drops
But
down.
there's a topography
Yes.
preventing that from being
Yes,
an
and
option.
I imagine that wall was put in when, the last time they did the septic.
And the back just drops right down, doesn't it? Back of the house.
you get the septic,
It drops down
you get
about
the
3
septic
feet.
field
Yeah.
back there.
We don't have any views of from the street of the house, do we? Of the property itself?
but do you,
Just the house, not the property itself. I'm looking at the whole.
just the house?
Yeah, I see that one.
Yeah, I saw that.
Is that when it was white?
It is,
Like, you know,
Trying to pull up the street view. So I'm trying to envision this wall that you're talking about.
it's the,
I don't remember seeing it. Yes.
It's a walkway from the driveway to,
here's the existing garage. and
Yeah,
then-
but the house itself I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, it's not,
It's faint, but it's,
Okay, I just-
there's a
I
structure
should
there.
have spent more time.
up here.
'Cause I'm struggling to see how we could justify the size
I don't know.
unless there was absolutely no way to do something, as you said, attached.
And I think the wall
Picture's
is
confusing,
like
because this is the same picture, there's a line here, so you look at it.
No.
That's what you're looking at.
Here,
Putting
you want
it
me to give you pictures?
the
I looked at it first, I said, well, they got this whole building that's cut in half.
well and the,
Right?
That's the walkway I was talking about, that's the septic in the back.
Okay.
One with that wall.
It's telltale houses here.
Where's the wall? Where's the wall?
It doesn't, it's
It's
just,
behind this.
Okay,
See that tree, it's close behind.
okay.
we've got,
Trying to. I thought the tree was in front of the house.
Looks to me that he's just basically on the side of the house, very close to being on the side of the house.
The tree there, when you look at the house from the road as you drive by in Rushton, the tree closest to the house, is that still in the front yard or is that?
The wall is right behind that tree.
Well, that, okay, that's,
That's where it drops down.
are you asking, is the tree in front of the house as far as relation to the road or next to the house?
Oh, it's a big, big pine tree. There's two
there's
of
a
them,
big
actually.
pine tree there,
There's two of them.
It looks like it's next to the house, like
yeah,
south of
that's
the
what I
house.
was thinking. But
but that's where that wall is and stuff too, that kind of hides it.
I went by and didn't see the wall, but it's other,
What's this there?
Hmm.
Other questions anybody have?
Well, between that wall and the front of the house, it's probably 15 feet. So anything there couldn't be any more than 15 foot deep without going into the front yard.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what we're struggling here with is the limitation is 50% of the full square
50%,
footage of the
yeah,
house.
yep.
This is more than 100%.
Right.
So you would have to establish a practical difficulty preventing you from
a hardship, anything.
anything. And I'm struggling to see.
That is a huge variance for our zoning ordinance. You know, I mean, giving a few feet or something is quite different than what is allowed, 600,
660.
and this would be,
600.
yeah, this would be 1,296.
Give it any thought to making it smaller? Mr. McDonald?
To what size?
Well, I don't know, it's something that's a little bit closer to conforming.
24 by 24?
I don't have my.
Gotta be worth my while to do it, right?
Did you say 24 by 24 was the existing?
24 by 24 is existing.
How many square feet is that?
Have you
I
had,
can't find a picture of that wall.
have you had, for lack of a better word, a professional look at what might be able to be done attaching to your house?
That's, to me, that's not an option. I'm not gonna spend all that money.
Okay.
It just wouldn't make any sense to me. That's the tree we're talking about. And that one got cut down because it was dead.
Okay, but that's
That's right next to
not
the
there
house.
today, right? Okay,
That's
that's,
the tree that got cut down. The tree that we're talking about is right here. You can't see the fall.
okay.
There's the lawn. That's
Now
how
I
it
better
drops
understand,
down.
thank you.
Let's do this.
That's the tree you see.
Which direction is this?
That's going south.
This is south, this is north.
Like if you look at number 8 and our things, proportionality,
What position is your home right over here? What is this area right?
you know, like, you can give a few feet, but
That's the septic. Oh, that's the driveway. That's
there's,
blocks built up.
Okay.
So the driveway goes back. I've been doing right on this side. It goes back 20 feet, almost to the back of where the.
So if you were to look at your house, to the south, you have the retaining wall. Yeah, that's to the south, right? So to the south, you have the retaining
That
wall.
wall is, I have a back porch right here.
You could draw.
That's the back porch.
Mhm.
Okay, there's steps right here. This wall goes like this, and curves around. My septic is back here,
Where's your well?
and there's the walkway. It's there. It drops down 3 feet right there.
Mm-hmm.
The well is right here.
Okay. This is,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
That's your wall, that's my wall. All the way out to about here.
Where are existing trees at?
And right next to this,
Okay.
back here. And there's one in the middle, that's-
Okay, but that's what I thought. Those trees are still there.
Mhm.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
we
It's-
So that eliminates,
You are two trees in topography here. Here you have the well, and I don't know about setbacks. And in the back, I don't,
There's huge trees up here.
yeah, I saw the,
we're actually here just to decide if he could get the variance.
but you have to have, like you're saying, you have to have a hardship.
Yeah, and he doesn't.
There's no other option of putting it anywhere else.
I think the only other possibility, and this would require, More.
A readdressing, you know, maybe doing what you guys were just talking about or something to help you out that way.
well, attaching, as you.
Is
said,
attaching, well, that's what I think they were talking
It would
about right
require
there.
more effort, obviously, but attaching it gives you a lot more leeway into size, but.
Yeah, you could have a bigger size.
It's already, the one that's there is already almost as large as is currently allowed under under the rules. So it's just not something, I think, that.
Really? I've been in this township, you know, I've been a contractor in this township for 10 years I've lived here. I've lived in South Lyon area for 30 years. I'm not going anywhere. Just trying to make something work.
We
For
understand.
me.
I'm sure similar stories could be made of
Okay.
all the folks here. The problem
There's,
is partly the size, but also there is a possibility with appropriate planning to do something attached to provide that extra space. But the fact of the matter is, it's a half-acre lot, and it falls, or just over half-acre lot that falls within that space that is limited almost to what's already there.
Would you like to think about readdressing your plans, and we could perhaps
Reconsider.
postpone this meeting? Or we could vote on it today and,
well, I just can't understand. I don't understand it. I do understand by the square footage. That's the only thing I can understand. Somewhat understand, but I'm in a rural area. There's a subdivision going up on 10 Mile in Rushton. These guys got huge 3-car garages attached to their house on these little lots. And that's allowed. Why is that allowed?
They're attached.
They're attached.
I had a similar difficulty myself. I can share it in the Green Oak Township. I have a detached garage that I had to make sure was within the size spacing, even though I've got a very long lot, because it would exceed half of the square footage of the house.
So I could put up a 100-square-foot building?
If you
Well-
attach it to your house.
I could have left up the one that was falling down, that made the
We would-
property look like crap, and I would have been better off then, because at least I had a building.
That's not
It's
something
not,
they can take back.
it's just not fair. There's got to think of fairness, too.
Mr. McDonald, I think you got to think, we're actually here trying to help you, okay?
Okay.
But, you've doubled the size,
I understand that.
and
That's what
that
I
leaves
need.
us open to anybody else who comes in here and wants to do the same thing. And that, these ordinances were in law, it's a law of the township.
If we
Well,
grant your variance, it goes with the land forever. If you leave, no matter what, we have to only grant variances where absolutely needed for practical difficulty. You can't move this, or there's a drop-off in your topography. There's some kind of practical difficulty or hardship. And the proportionality of your garage is more than double. So it's big. And that is not keeping with the zoning ordinance that we're talking about.
And we're limited by.
We have a law that we have to
That's what a
follow.
variance is all about, isn't it? Asking for this, you notify my neighbors, apparently nobody's objecting to it.
But you still have to fall within the zoning ordinance. And so you're asking for, say you're asking for 100 more feet or 200 more feet. Okay, or like the guy before you who only asked for another foot to have a, family home. It's easier to look at. You're asking for double. The proportionality of your
Actually,
building is going against our zoning ordinance, big time. I mean, we're not trying to say anything against you. Everybody's been trying to help you. As I said, if you want to relook at it, we can perhaps
So
postpone it.
so if I was asking for 100 square feet, I would be approved,
We would look at it differently, yes.
or 400 feet.
And I think it's something, we can give feedback to the township on what we see, but I mean, ultimately, you're putting up a 54-foot by 24-foot garage,
Yeah,
which,
well, I look at one 15 feet away from my property on the right every day. It's huge. And a camper right next to it, so it's,
Unfortunately,
I look at it every day.
yeah, there's
15
plenty
feet
of
away. You
non-conforming
can have everything.
things that have been established prior to now, but we can't base what we decide for your property versus what exists at other properties. The laws have changed over time, and that's not what we can do. What we can do is say, if you can establish that there is an impossibility to use your property in the way that it was designed, then we can figure out something. But this is a space that is beyond double what is allowed. And you have an outbuilding, you have a garage, and there is space that technically between the house and the garage that could be used to expand your space without any of these kinds of limitations, because it's part of the house, and it wouldn't be going towards the borders of your property. That's what we're trying to.
That is accessory building. It would be,
The problem is it's separated from your house.
I don't know what to say. This doesn't seem fair. Not at all.
Do you want us to take a vote?
If you all say yes, yeah, go ahead and take the vote. I mean, if you want to say no, I guess there's nothing else I can say, but I'm just thinking it's the best option, and, I mean, I've been around here, like I said, I'm not going nowhere. If I was doing it so I could increase the value of my house only, yes, okay, that's not a good enough reason.
No, it cannot be for money.
Can't be a reason either, regardless, we can't make the decision based on that reason. I think, I mean, you can see the way that the board is leaning on this, but ultimately, it sounds like that it may be, you think it's the best option, but if there is some way to look further into what other possibilities there could be to enhance your space.
Like what? You can't attach to the house. Anything attached to the house would have to be closer to Rushton Road.
No, we're saying between the house and the garage, that was like what we were talking about.
And attached to the house.
Yes,
Yes, well, that wall is, between the front of the house and that wall is only like 15 feet. In other parts, it's less than 15 feet.
About the backside of the house.
that's where the septic is.
It's on the septic's more on the
You can't get
side.
back- You can't even drive back there
Okay.
without moving the well or moving the wall.
The best thing for the applicant might want to be to request a postponement to have further discussions with Deborah.
Did you plan on building this yourself?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm a contractor. I've been
okay,
electrical
understood,
contractor
understood.
using- Well, I'll probably have the frame put up, yes.
I'll make a motion to suspend,
Postpone.
postpone the article until a further meeting. And if you decide, if you can't come up with another reason, then we'll dispose of the article item, okay, without your further attendance, but I'm just trying to tell you, we're trying to help you here.
I don't know what you mean by another reason.
Well, if you can come up with a reason why you can't put the garage anywhere else closer to the house, one way or the other.
Nothing that's self-created. And
You said you bought the house 10 years ago, so you're not, you didn't cause a house in that, so,
No, I've sided the house, I've been taking.
But no, you're not-
property all along.
right?
So do we have a motion on the table, or?
were you motioning to postpone until,
That's what
yeah, I'll support.
Do we have a roll call vote? Roll call vote?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0. We will be postponing until you can come up with a
or
more,
hopefully you can.
if you can come up with a more specific practical difficulty in working with
So how
that.
does that work? If I come up with something else, which I can't practically see anything that's gonna, no way to attach it to the house, there's just tripling the
This is
cost.
not, right now, this is not the forum to do that.
Okay.
They just made their motion, so you can discuss it with me after, or you can call me in the office.
Next up. So the decision has been passed. Is there any new business? Old business? Correspondence?
Just the ones that
share
are in
with
front
us.
of you.
Just 2 letters.
All the public, nor the public present, so we'll close. the
Excuse me.
Then we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. This meeting's adjourned.